You're lying in bed, finally ready to get some rest, and then it happens. Out of nowhere, your calf seizes up like someone just grabbed it and twisted. The pain shoots through your leg and forces you bolt upright in the middle of the night. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. And more importantly, this is not just a normal part of getting older. Your body may actually be sending you a very specific warning signal. And if you ignore it long enough, it can lead to something far more serious than just lost sleep. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could genuinely change how you feel every single night. Here's what most people do when this happens. They stretch it out, maybe drink a glass of water, and then chalk it up to age. "I'm over 50, they say. "This is just what happens now." And that's exactly what millions of people believe. In fact, studies suggest that nearly 60% of adults over 50 experience nocturnal leg cramps at some point, and a large portion of them simply accept it as inevitable. But here's the thing. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. And just because it happens to a lot of people doesn't mean there's nothing you can do about it. The truth is, your body is incredibly intelligent. When something goes wrong on the inside, it doesn't stay quiet. It sends signals. Leg cramps at night, especially the kind that wake you up, are one of those signals. So the real question is, what is your body actually trying to tell you? For decades, doctors would tell patients with nighttime leg cramps to stretch more, drink more water, and maybe take a potassium supplement. And while those things can help a little, many people tried them and still woke up screaming in pain at 2 in the morning. So researchers started digging deeper, and what they found was surprising. It wasn't just dehydration, it wasn't just inactivity, and it wasn't just aging muscles. There was something happening at a cellular level, something that most standard blood tests don't even catch. That was causing muscles to contract involuntarily in the middle of the night. And when they traced it back to its source, they kept finding the same thing missing. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most people have heard that calcium makes muscles contract. But what makes them relax? What's the counterbalance that tells your muscles, okay, you can let go now? Without that counterbalance, your muscles stay in a kind of constant state of tension, like a rubber band that never fully releases. And at night, when your body temperature drops and circulation slows down, that tension becomes a full-blown cramp. So what is this missing counterbalance? And here's the part that surprises most people. It's not just one nutrient, it's a very specific form of a mineral that most people over 50 are chronically running low on. And they have absolutely no idea. The mineral is magnesium. But not just any form of magnesium. We're talking about magnesium taurate, a highly specialized form that combines magnesium with an amino acid called taurine. And this combination does something that regular magnesium supplements simply can't do as effectively. Here's the science, explained simply. Magnesium is the mineral your muscles need to relax. Every time a muscle fiber contracts, calcium rushes in to trigger that contraction. Then magnesium rushes in to push the calcium back out and allow the muscle to release. No magnesium? The muscle stays contracted. The cramp doesn't let go. But magnesium taurate goes even further than that. Taurine, the amino acid bonded to the magnesium in this form, has its own powerful role in muscle and nerve function. It helps stabilize cell membranes, calm overactive nerve signals, and regulate how much calcium gets into your muscle cells in the first place. Together, they work like a two-person team, one calming the nerves that trigger the cramp, and the other releasing the muscle that's locked up in pain. What makes this form particularly special is its bioavailability. Magnesium taurate is absorbed significantly more efficiently than many common forms like magnesium oxide, which is what you'll find in most cheap supplements. And for people over 50, absorption is everything, because the aging gut is much less efficient at pulling nutrients out of food and supplements. Now, here's where the story gets even more interesting. You might be thinking, okay, I'll just eat more magnesium-rich foods. Problem solved, right? Well, not exactly. And this is the part that even many doctors don't fully appreciate. You see, magnesium deficiency is sometimes called the invisible deficiency, and for a very important reason. Standard blood tests check your serum magnesium, which is the magnesium floating around in your bloodstream. But here's the surprising part. only about 1% of your body's total magnesium is actually in your blood. The other 99% is stored inside your cells and in your bones. So your blood test can come back completely normal, while your muscles are desperately starving for magnesium. This is why so many people get told your levels look fine, and yet they keep waking up with cramps every single night. But the leg cramps at night are just one piece of the puzzle. And most people don't realize just how many other things in their body might also be connected to this same deficiency. Let me walk you through some of the warning signs that often show up alongside those nighttime leg cramps. Signs that might be telling you your magnesium levels are low. First, there are the muscle symptoms. Beyond the leg cramps at night, you might notice muscle twitching, especially in your eyelids or calves, that seems to happen randomly. You might also experience a general feeling of muscle stiffness or tension that doesn't go away with stretching. Then there are the nervous system symptoms. Low magnesium affects your nerves too, not just your muscles. Many people report feelings of anxiety, restlessness, or a kind of inner tension they can't explain. Some describe it as feeling wound up, even when they're exhausted. Others notice their hands feel slightly shaky or that they're unusually sensitive to loud noises or bright lights. Sleep disturbances are another big one. Even people who aren't experiencing dramatic cramps often have trouble staying asleep when their magnesium is low. The muscles can't fully relax, the nervous system stays slightly activated, and the result is restless, fragmented sleep, even if you can't feel a specific cramp. Fatigue is also on the list. Magnesium plays a critical role in energy production inside your cells. When it's deficient, your mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses in every cell, can't function efficiently. That leads to a kind of deep cellular fatigue that no amount of caffeine or sleep seems to fix. And then there's the heart. This one surprises people. Magnesium is absolutely essential for a healthy heart rhythm. Palpitations, those occasional flutters or skipped beats that make you briefly aware of your heartbeat, can sometimes be a sign of low magnesium, particularly the Tourette form, which has a specific affinity for heart muscle tissue. If several of these sound familiar to you, keep watching, because the solution might be simpler than you think. So how does this happen? Why are so many people over 50 running low on magnesium? There are several reasons, and most of them are things that happen quietly in the background, without any obvious warning. The first reason is aging itself. As we get older, the intestines become less efficient at absorbing magnesium from food. At the same time, the kidneys become less efficient at retaining it, meaning more magnesium gets flushed out in urine. This is a double hit. You absorb less and lose more. The second reason is diet. Magnesium is found in dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes. But let's be honest, the modern Western diet is heavily processed, and processing strips magnesium from food. White bread, white rice, refined cereals. These foods have had the majority of their magnesium removed. Even if you're eating what seems like a healthy diet, you may be getting far less magnesium than you think. The third reason is medications. This one is critically important for people over 50 because many of us take daily medications that silently deplete magnesium. Proton pump inhibitors, those acid reflux medications like omeprazole and lansoprazole, are one of the biggest culprits. Diuretics, often prescribed for high blood pressure, cause the kidneys to flush magnesium out at an even faster rate. Certain antibiotics and diabetes medications can also affect magnesium levels. The fourth reason is stress. Both physical and emotional stress causes the body to burn through magnesium at an accelerated rate. And cortisol, the stress hormone, directly increases magnesium excretion through the kidneys. In today's world, chronic low-grade stress is incredibly common, and it's quietly draining your magnesium every single day. The fifth reason is alcohol consumption. Even moderate, regular alcohol intake increases magnesium excretion significantly. For people who enjoy a glass of wine or two in the evening, which many people over 50 do, this is worth knowing. Put all of these factors together, and you can see why magnesium deficiency is so widespread, and why it so often goes undetected. All right, let's talk about solutions. Because the good news is, This is one of the most fixable deficiencies there is. Starting with food. The richest food sources of magnesium include dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds, which are one of the most magnesium-dense foods on the planet, almonds, black beans, edamame, avocado, dark chocolate, and whole grains like quinoa and brown rice. If you make a genuine effort to include 2 or 3 of these foods daily, you can meaningfully increase your dietary magnesium. But, and this is important, for many people over 50, food alone may not be enough to correct a significant deficiency. This is where supplementation comes in. Now, choosing the right form of magnesium matters enormously. Here's a quick breakdown. Magnesium oxide, the most common form in cheap supplements, is very poorly absorbed. Studies suggest only around 4% of it actually makes it into your cells. So even if the label says 500 milliliters, your body may only be getting about 20 milliliters of that. Magnesium citrate is better, well absorbed, and useful for general supplementation. Many people use it for constipation relief too. Magnesium glycinate is one of the most bioavailable forms, very gentle on the stomach, and particularly good for sleep and anxiety. And then there's magnesium taurate, the star of today's video. Because of the taurine bond, this form is exceptionally well absorbed and is specifically suited for muscle function, nerve calming, and cardiovascular health. If your primary concerns are nighttime leg cramps, heart palpitations, or anxiety, magnesium taurate may be the most targeted choice. In terms of dosing, the general recommended dietary allowance for adults over 50 is around 320 to 420 milligrams per day, depending on sex. But many practitioners working with deficiency will recommend therapeutic doses slightly higher than this, always under medical guidance. One important tip: take magnesium in the evening with food. Taking it at night aligns with your body's natural needs. Your muscles are winding down, your nervous system is preparing for sleep, and having magnesium available at that time works with your body's rhythm, not against it. Also consider magnesium from the outside in. Transdermal magnesium, applying magnesium oil or Epsom salt baths, allows magnesium to be absorbed directly through the skin, bypassing the gut entirely. This can be particularly helpful for people with digestive issues or those who are taking medications that interfere with absorption. And finally, lifestyle adjustments. Reducing stress through practices like gentle yoga, breathing exercises, or meditation can meaningfully slow the rate at which your body burns through magnesium. Cutting back on alcohol, limiting caffeine, and staying properly hydrated all support better magnesium retention. Let's bring this all together. Those nighttime leg cramps that have been waking you up, stealing your sleep, and making you dread going to bed, they are not inevitable. They are not just what happens after 50, and they are not something you simply have to live with. In many cases, they are your body's way of telling you that it's running low on one of the most essential minerals for muscle and nerve function, magnesium, and specifically the magnesium taurate form that supports both your muscles and your nervous system in the most targeted way possible. The reasons behind the deficiency are many: aging, diet, medications, stress, and most of them are things we don't even think about on a day-to-day basis. But the good news is that once you know what's happening, you have real, practical options to address it. Food, the right form of supplementation, small lifestyle shifts. These things, done consistently, can transform the quality of your sleep and your quality of life in ways that may surprise you. This is why understanding this deficiency may be one of the most important things you do for your long-term health and well-being. Your muscles deserve to relax at night, and so do you. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know. Have you ever experienced nighttime leg cramps? Have you tried magnesium before? And if so, which form? Your experience might help someone else watching this right now. If this information was useful to you, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps more people find this content when they need it most. And if you want to keep learning about the hidden deficiencies and overlooked health signals that affect people over 50, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We cover these topics every week in plain language with no medical jargon. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.